Candace?
So as of this recording, King-Ohger is 12 episodes in, and we are finally properly, sort of, introduced to Spider-Kumonos, who will be the 6th Ranger instead of Palette Swap King Rackley's. So we're first introduced to Jeremy in episode 11, where he ends up derailing the other monarch's initial plan to overthrow Rackley's by having Gira rise from the dead like he's Jesus or something. Is this foreshadowing something? I don't know. I mean, we're establishing that Gira is very special because he can communicate with the shoe gods. So there might be more to Gira than meets the eye. But anyway, so Jeremy takes off with Gira's casket where he was hiding in, and basically Spider-Man's his way to evade capture. But since the Shugodam soldiers apparently don't have choppers, which is kind of weird, they have mini shoe gods that do work for them, if I remember correctly, he gets out very easily. And when he lets Gira out and they have a little conversation for the first time, Jeremy starts going on and on about how excrement is a great storyteller because it says a lot about where it came from, which is funny, kind of gross, and it actually makes sense. Have you ever felt sick and then you find out that your dung reflects your health? That's a thing, right? And not only that, but we get to see how manipulative or trickster like Jeremy can be, as not only does he basically sell out the greater shoe gods to Bognarok, but he immediately grabs all 3 of the greater shoe gods from Bognarok so he can get out of the mask, which somehow turns into his morpher or just henshin device. And to end that episode, he one-shots probably a clone of Desnerak and just straight up disappears. So yeah, strong start in a way. So we get to episode 12, where Jeremy basically spends like the first half of it messing around with the King-Ohgers, dropping all these cryptic clues as they try to interrogate him and figure out who he is. First, he got taken to Gokan to be judged by Rita, who, they immediately lost their patience with him, so he went to Enkasopa, where he took a lie detector test. And after said lie detector test ended with Gira and Shiokora getting shocked to near death, while Jeremy just sits around with said lie detector test not getting shocked because he's telling nothing but the truth. He gets abducted and brought to Ishabana, where he actually returns one of the greater shoe god skulls, more specifically God Scorpion's soul, to Himeno. But since the Ishabana aesthetic was so very obvious, he easily got tracked there by the other King-Ohgers. And then Kaguragi arrived after a rather tense meeting with Rackley's, where they come to the conclusion that he is an enemy. And then while they are confronting Jeremy, they're told to read between the lines. And Gira, there's this whole sequence where he just starts doing this little Jimmy Neutron-esque imagining, like, think. But this is Gira we're talking about, so he ends up to the conclusion that he still has no idea what Jeremy's talking about. From there, things in that episode get really serious because Jeremy drops the storyteller persona out of annoyance and just straight up tells them who he really is. He is the son of the unknown 6th hero from the original King-Ohger mythos, who was erased from history for the crime of wanting to have a baby with a Bognarok. Okay, it's actually more of his parents fell in love. Humans and Bognarok alike would never accept that, so they just eloped and lived together in what appeared to be a snowy area. I don't think that's Gokan or somewhere near Gokan, or just somewhere along that region in Chikyu in general, or Tikyu, I forgot how to say it.
Oh, and before I forget, the reason why he was wearing that mask in the first place, it was put on him by his parents so that people don't know that he is a human Ragnarok hybrid. It's to prevent him from being persecuted.
And after he spills his entire life story, the other 5 react with just calling him out for being so damn cryptic. And Jeremy's actually surprised that they're so understanding. He thought that history would repeat itself because he showed them that his right hand, the one covered with his one glove, is pretty much a Ragnarok hand. But they take it in stride because they come to understand why he's doing all this. And so Desnarak arrives in Ishabana. Then we get our first henshin and fight with Spider-Kumonos. And this 6th Ranger drove back the big bad. Even though the last time we actually saw Desnarak fight, it took all 5 of the entire main 5 to even wound him. Again, it could be just a clone. I don't know. I don't think he'd be toying with the King-Ohgers unless he had a good reason to. But beyond that, I guess my only complaint about how we're introduced to Jeremy so far is that they revealed too much about him too quickly. Although granted, it could be more because of his reaction to Gira not figuring out who he is, which is fair. It shows just how erased from history Jeremy and his parents are, or at least just his parents, because in that same episode, Rita's own investigation reveals that Jeremy in his masked form was cited for millennia, which for me reminds me of something that's very tragic about Jeremy's life. He is long living in a world that does not recognize his parents. Imagine being in that kind of world. I mean, you could say that you enjoy solitary life, but I'm pretty sure not everyone would enjoy that. He had to live for that long with that mask because his parents were afraid of what would happen to him if his hybrid form was ever revealed. And when he revealed this to the other King-Ohgers, they took it in stride, in contrast to Desnarak, who just called him a half-breed and tried to kill him. So yeah, overall, maybe they revealed too much about Jeremy, especially if we're only shown 2 episodes with him. But so far, I kind of like where they're going with his story. If they play their cards right, he might dethrone Best Judge Rita as my favorite character of the King-Ohgers. So yeah, thanks for watching, and leave a comment down below what you think would happen to Jeremy and the rest of the series moving forward. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.